Okay, so third fret, these two. My middle finger, no.
No, your pinky and your
Ring finger is on top, right?
correct.
Okay, and then are we doing G or the new one you just showed me?
Let's go to G. Let's go to the very first one.
G is that, right?
Yes, but all the way down, last strings. So that's the new one. So your third finger in this case is going to reach all the way to that top string.
Third finger.
Right, your middle finger.
Is all the way on the top?
Yep.
Oh.
On the last string.
Yep. Sure is gonna be.
Yes, it is. And your index finger is gonna go on the second fret on the 5th string. Right, this is our G.
Okay, there, got it.
Okay, go ahead and give that a strum.
Sure, and all of them.
All of them, yep.
That's so bad.
As you do it a few times, your hands will kind of adjust to the shape and the placement.
Where should my thumb be? Doesn't really matter.
So, ideally, it'll be sort of on the middle of the neck in the back. Middle to low. That way your hand can have a nice curved shape. Okay. Now, from here, the second chord, those two fingers, we're going to start with that third finger. It's going to drop down one string. And then that pointer finger is going to drop down one string. This is our second chord, the C chord. Right, there you go.
I know. Oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. This is why we do piano instead. Okay.
Yes, guitar is by far one of the most painful instruments to start because the strings have grooves, they're wound, they're sharp, they're hard. It's just no good all the way around. So those are the first two chords. Go ahead and give your hand a break. I'll show you the next one. Sorry, I thought I heard somebody banging on my door.
Okay.
Oh, never good. Okay, so we've got this right here. We drop down to get the next chord, which we call C. Now from here, we're going to do the same thing, but it's easier. This middle finger, this higher one, we're just going to take it off altogether. It's not going to play. And so to make it easier to look at, I'm just going to tuck it down out of the way. You don't have to do that, but we're not going to use that one. And this pointer finger, this index finger, is going to drop down one more string.
Okay. So it's on the 4th string. Second fret still?
It'll be on the 2nd fret, but now it should be on the 1, 2, 3rd string.
3rd string. Okay.
Right? Now, again, you're going to strum everything except that highest string. That's right. Okay. This is D sus, but to make it simpler, we're just going to call it D. Okay. So these are the 3 chords that you're going to be working with. You have this G chord. You're going to drop it down for C. You're going to drop it down one more time for D, and you're going to take that middle finger completely off. Good. That's G. Now drop it down one string. Good. Now, middle finger comes off and index finger drops one more string. That's right. There you go. That is D. Hello, Mr. James and friends.
Hi there. Sorry, I'm late.
It's a baby. Look at it.
It's a baby. Look at him.
Look at him doing the baby thing.
Yep. He says, I am a cactus.
Hi, Cooper. Oh, hi. He knows how
I've
to
got
wave.
earbuds on, so he can't hear anything.
He's waving. He knows how
There's
to
motion
Cool.
happening. There we go. Let me do this.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad that he could join us today. There he is.
All right. Mom's gonna grab him.
really tiny ukulele for him.
Yeah. No, he likes playing the actual guitar. He's a fan. All right.
Okay, so we just covered the 3 chords that we're gonna use for our personal jam session, right? What this class, Megan, is sort of geared toward is the idea of giving you an easy chord progression that you can play to yourself and like record it on your phone or a laptop or something, and just kind of play it on loop, on repeat, and then you can play something else on top of that, which I'm gonna show you in a little bit. But first, because it's just us 3, I wanted to make sure that you're really comfortable with those chords, right? So let's make that.
Super comfortable. My fingertips aren't in agony at all. It's great.
But you have a great guitar. I like it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, she hasn't been played in a long time, so this is it.
Okay.
So I heard a D sus chord.
Right. So what we've got the little box or the chamber methods. We've got our G there, dropping down to C, and then our D sus here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're working with.
Okay.
Now, what you can do with this, Megan, is the idea is just practice it on your own a little bit, once this class is over, until you can get it relatively comfortable, and you can kind of go C and count, or I'm sorry, the G chord and count 4 beats, and then C chord and 4 beats, and then your D chord and count those 4 beats out there. And then you can sort of do that a couple of times and create your own little backing track, right? So you have G, back to G, and kind of go with that there. That's the idea behind these 3 chords.
And then drumming will get better when my fingers can sustain pressure again.
There you go. A little bit of a rough one. Let me see that one more time.
It's so not strong yet there.
But that's right. And with a couple of repetitions, with some practice, it'll get there.
It won't sound so screechy.
It won't. Once the hand stretches a little bit and gets stronger and more comfortable with where it's at, it'll be easier. So once you work through this, get a sort of a rhythm going. And what you're ultimately going to be doing is grabbing once we're all done with this class, you can grab your phone or something and just play, that progression to yourself a few times. G, C, D, and then back to G, and then you do it again. G, C, D, and then back to G. And you create your own little backing track with this.
Okay.
Mr. Alex, is it okay if I make a suggestion?
Of course, always.
Okay. So Megan, I just want to point out something with these 3 chords. When you're doing the G to the C to the D, when you're doing this box, I, for one, totally get the concept of it hurting and not being able to do it, right? So like I'm tracking with you 100% on that. So one of the things that I do, especially after I've done the practice and my fingers are sore, I'm trying to play along with people, the important thing to remember is that your root note is G, which is your first finger. The second string is that C note, and then the D is just open. So if you're playing along with like a group of us and you just want to keep track, you can actually just pluck the root note that you're doing and the G string at the whole time, and it sounds like this.
I actually can't hear yours at all.
Okay. I don't know if, let me turn it up real quick.
I can hear you, I just can't hear you.
Can you hear the amp now?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have that and you pluck the G string,
Sounds like a banjo.
right? Kind of. So, but it gets you, especially when your fingers are sore and you're trying to like continue to play through. You can hit those 2 strings and keep that bass, and it kind of keeps the flow of like the timing going.
Okay.
And then that way, like if you miss the chord, you don't get the shape right, then you can just hit the root note on it and continue to go for it. But that one saved me, especially when my fingers were like so sore I couldn't move, and I'm like, I can't hold this position. But it allows me to keep playing with other people, just remembering I'm like, okay, if I can simplify that, I just need the root.
Cool.
Right.
Sorry, that's all I want to say.
So then you're saying I would just do this one and then when I come down here, just
Mhm.
the one? Okay.
To the G string. And what you can do to simplify is if you think about this, even if you want to put down the pick and use your thumb and your index, your thumb is always going to hit the root note. So it would be the E string, the A string, and then the D string for your 3 chords, because you'll be making the G, C, and then D is open. Okay, right? And so on the D chord, what would happen is you would be putting your index initially down here for that D shape, but you could still hit, your fingers will still pluck the G string every time. So when you have that, your index will pluck the G string all the time for the G, because you're hitting 2 notes of G, 2 octaves of G. Then you have that C with an octave of G.
This is
And
all,
then you have the
I know
D.
what all of these notes are, and I forget all of them. It's been a really long time since I played guitar.
Right, so it just kind of makes it a little bit simpler, because if you add it on with the strumming, okay, and then you simplify that down, and it's like separate some fingers. And a little bit simpler down is just with one finger hitting the G string to the A string to G string, and then D chord. And that just kind of sometimes saves your finger, especially if it's like you're still trying to like play through. It just kind of like keeps you going in the rhythm and the format of the chord, but does that. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up because I was just pointing at make it sometimes makes it easier.
It's all good. Cool. Thank you.
And then I'll kind of elaborate a little bit more on that too. If you know you're going there and you're having trouble with the finger coordination with all the different strings, you can do just that bottom note by itself too. And so you'd be playing these 3 bottom strings, right? So you'd have that G on the bottom note, and then you'd hop that finger down 1 string, and then no fingers, and you'd go up 1 more string, and you'd play that 3rd one just.
Okay.
That if the coordination with the 2 fingers is too much, you can get that in there too. Okay. So the idea is that you'll make your own little sort of track or backing track that you can do or play along with that, and just sort of create a bass line there or some basic chords. And then for us today, we're gonna do a partial part of the what we would call the pentatonic scale, and you would just use that to kind of jam with yourself and play over the top. But because we have new and it's different and it hurts our fingers, instead of covering the whole pattern, what we'll do today is we're going to look at the pattern on just the top 3 strings. And when we say the top 3 strings, we mean starting at this high E string and then string 2 and then string 3. Okay, we're going to be on these 3 strings.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to have here now, and this is separate from our chord pattern or bass line. You're going to take your first and your second finger and you're going to scoot them up into frets 2 and 3. So we have frets 2 and 3 on this top E string. Now you're not going to use all of these fingers. You're going to play the following pattern. Okay. So on this top string, you're going to have your second finger on that 3rd fret right there. And you're going to play that 3rd fret. Let's see, make sure you've got the highest string.
The highest string, sorry.
There you go. And then so after that, you're going to have that 3rd fret and then your open string next to that. So the 3rd fret and then no fingers. Okay, so we have 3 open.
Sure we do.
There you go. And the closer your finger is to the fret that you're playing, the easier that will be. So we got 3 open. Then we go to string number 2, and you're going to do the same thing. So the next string down, same thing, 3 open.
On the 3rd fret or the 2nd?
3rd fret again.
So
So we have 3, open, 3, and
Mer.
there it is. 3, open, 3, open. There it is. You got it. You got it. That's 3, open, 3, open. Now
It
we're
was
gonna
like 70. It's there in theory.
we're gonna add one more string to this. 3, open, 3, open. Now we're gonna go down to the 1, 2, 3rd string now. Okay, and you're gonna use your index finger, but this time instead of the 3rd fret, we're gonna grab that 2nd fret right there.
So it's why isn't it playing?
You get your finger a little closer to the high part of the fret.
Yup.
Yeah, it can be a pain. So put your finger a little bit higher. Okay, so take a look right here. So we have 3, open, and notice how my finger is going to be right up next to the fret, not on top of it, but next to that higher fret. If it's
Oh, sorry. I think I thought you meant bring it closer here, but you mean closer to the back of the fret.
so if it's too low, it's too far away from the fret.
I just took what you said and applied it exactly the opposite way you meant.
You know what? It's okay. It's good. We have 3, open, 3, open, and then one more string, that 3rd string. 2, open. So 3rd fret, open, 3rd fret, open, 2nd fret, open. Yes, there you go.
I want to play banjo now. It sounds like we should be doing a banjo song.
Well, that's kind of what we're working up to. When we're using this, you can use 6 notes to kind of make up little melodies or something, play little tunes over the top of what we were doing. And so that's kind of the next step. I want you to do that with me a few more times. That 3, open, 3, open, 2, open.
Let me do that again.
That's it. Okay. 3, open, 3, open, 2, open. And then it can go backwards, right? Open, 2, then onto the 2nd string, open, 3, and then the top string, open, 3. We're just unwinding it. The first way is going down and then going back up.
Sure. No problem.
No problem. Absolutely.
No, you said open, closed, open. Nope. Well, it's gonna be closed now, and then open, and then closed.
That's it. That's right. That's the path.
Give me 2 seconds. I have to turn down my stove. I hear it.
Okay.
So, Alex, real quick, I'm gonna play. I'm just gonna play those chords, and I want, because in a second we're about to like all play together, right?
Not necessarily. That wasn't the plan.
Okay, so this is just for us pre-recording and looping on our own, right? Okay, cool.
Yes, but we could try that, but it doesn't let more than one person have their microphone.
That's what I was gonna try and see if that works on this. Okay, cool.
We could try, but generally it just kind of switches back and forth and it's kind of muddy. So what the goal or the project is for this, Megan, is taking those chords from the beginning and just making a little track by yourself, grabbing your phone and doing a quick recording of yourself playing these. then while you record that, and then you play that back to yourself on the phone. And over the top of that, you can play any note from this pattern that we just learned here. And what makes this cool is that you can even just do it forwards and backwards. And it'll line up with the chord progression, and it's a way to sort of practice with yourself that's a little bit more entertaining than just going forwards and backwards with this for over and ever, just getting the fingers worked in there. You can play on top of this chord progression, and it makes little melodies out of it that are really cool that you can work with.
I have to write this down because I'm going to forget by tomorrow morning.
Good idea.
Well, you won't forget because I'll send you the YouTube video for all this.
Oh, well then there
And then
you
you can watch it again.
And
go. Oh my
again,
goodness, I'm going to be on the YouTube
Again and
video
again and
as
again.
well, teaching all of our students to be cooking while they're playing their guitar lesson at the same time.
you got to multitask. Got to happen. Okay, so to wrap up with this, let's do a review. I want to see you play those 3 chords that we looked at, and then I want to see that pattern that we put together at the end.
Right? So the middle finger's on the top and then on the 3rd fret, right?
Correct. You've got it. That's right.
So that's G
Yes.
or ish, G-ish. And then C-ish. And then this is D sus.
That's right. Those are the 3 chords. And if those chords get tough, you can just play that finger that we have on the lowest string. So third finger, open, and that'll give you the same root.
And then you said this one, right? No? Is that right on the last one?
So it would be the 3rd fret, and then the next string on the 3rd fret.
Right.
The next string is just open.
Oh, it's just open. Okay. Got it.
Okay. And then this little pattern at the top, 3rd fret, open, 3rd fret, open, 2nd fret, open.
Nope. So this.
There you go. That's it. And then going back up from there. There you go. And those are some tricky things for your fingers to do, but you did it and you got it. And
Did the thing.
those slightly simplified versions. So the idea is with this, you can make your own little jam session, play these chords and record them, and then play this pattern at the top. It gives you a little song, a little melody. And you can start from there to sort of play and melodies too.
Cool.
Also, as a side note, do you ever listen to John Mayer at all?
Yeah.
Okay. You can also do this pentatonic scale, this exact one, with Why Georgia,
Oh, fun.
because it's got the same chords for that G and C. So if you're playing the pentatonic below it, if you're not confident with laying your own backing track, you can pull that one up as well. And then anything that you do with what Alex just showed goes really, really well with that.
Fun. Cool.
Really pro.
Hooray.
Awesome. Great job, Megan. That was fantastic.
Thanks. Is it just a little half-hour sesh?
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I
Fantastic.
see at the end,
I don't think I could do an hour anyway. I'd be like, and we're done, right? My little fingers don't have the endurance yet. But yeah, cool. Thank you. That was fun.
You're very welcome.
All right.
We're
done
hoping
recording?
to do more of these over the next, over the next couple of weeks. We're going to do more of these, just little guitar technique videos, which is perfect for you to drop in and just kind of see how it works and try it out and learn some chords and some easy patterns. We've done a song too, some short little songs, and we're gonna do some more stuff like that over the next couple of weeks.
Cool. And then your piano one's on Monday.
The piano one is going to be
On
out Tuesday.
Tuesday at 12 o'clock, which changed my life yesterday. I now play the piano. I'm not a piano player.
Yay. great.
He has changed my life now. Now I was up till like 12 o'clock last night playing the piano.
You were saved. Now you're a piano player.
I
Yeah,
would say that. I play
fun.
piano player and playing the piano, very different.
Yeah, that's true. I'm in that boat too. I'm like, I can